Superhero Game Squad. Mike, say hi. Hi. Eli, say hi. Today we are going to make Sakurai proud. Actually, probably not. Let me step back. We're going to talk about the 10 most wanted characters that I want in Super Smash Bros. For the Switch. Whenever that comes, whenever that may be, if it comes, I want it. Me and Mikey were just looking at some Switch stuff on, just looking at Switch stuff online, and all of a sudden, while I'm editing this video, I look over, and this is what we see. There's some Smash talk right now about Nintendo. I haven't even read this yet. Super Smash Bros. Trademark filed by Nintendo a day ago. A Smash Bros. Game has apparently been trademarked. Smash Bros. Switch hype is just being reignited. These are all things that are being talked about in the past day. We didn't even know that when we wrote this video.
Bro, we're just on it, bro. Gamers, man.
It's time to keep going. Let's get this video quick. Now, stop.
Camera time.
Don't get mad before the video goes on. This isn't going to be the conventional lists of all the characters everybody's been asking for, like Banjo-Kazooie, Shantae, and King K. Rool, and all those other characters that people have been asking for forever. We know. Voice has been heard, Gino from Super Mario RPG, but I'm gonna go into the lesser known, less popular character choices that I personally want to see in Smash Bros. For Switch. So let's get into it. Alright, my number 10 pick is Bucky OHare. Now, Bucky OHare was a comic book back in the day, then it was an animated series.
Bucky! Captain Bucky OHare! Bucky! That's Bucky! Bucky OHare! Let's croak us some toads!
During the time it was an animated series, it also became a video game for the Nintendo Entertainment System and an arcade game, and what a cool game. It was a good platformer, it was a brutal platform, but the thing that really sticks out that I think would transfer over to Bucky OHare on a Smash Brothers game is that Bucky OHare, you were able to switch between characters at any time on the fly just like that. So I think being able to use some of these powers in Smash Brothers, transferring into 4 different characters at any moment, mixing up what your people are doing. People are gonna get freaked out. They're not gonna know who you are if it's just like Bucky OHare is also a cool character, so I think it would benefit me. I know there's others out there who agree with me. It's a Konami game. Konami back then was amazing, and I think hopefully they could transfer it over. Before we go on with the list, I have to say there's not really many rules that apply. I don't want to go with like movie characters and whatnot, but basically if a character's been in a video game, the character can be applied to this list. The next one is Jason and Sophia from Blaster Master, a beautiful game from 1988 on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now, Blaster Master Zero did just come out on the Nintendo Switch earlier this year. An amazing game. Also gives me some hope, like, hey, Nintendo's still working with Blaster Master. Blaster Master is still relevant. And obviously, the coolest thing I think in the game would be the fact that you can go in and out of Sophia at any time, at any moment. You can become an overpowered tank, hybrid tank, whatever they want to call Sophia, jump out and then fight as Jason with all of his different weapons, especially with all the upgrades that you were given in Blaster Master Zero on the Switch. I think would make it really, really cool. On October 20th in 2010, we got one of the coolest characters in a long time that is a simple character, and that's Super Meat Boy. I want to see Super Meat Boy in Smash. He doesn't really have a big skill set, so I don't know what moves they would integrate into the game, but as we've learned, Super Meat Boy doesn't give up. So maybe like an overpowered strong character that is almost impossible to kill, because let's be real, in the game we try over and over probably about 1,000,000 times to freaking just beat the game. So I think Super Meat Boy would be a character that I think would be strong, because just like the game, he gets knocked down, but he keeps getting back up again. All right, the next one is the only one that I know is kind of a popular choice, but I wanted to put it in there because I couldn't find myself not talking about this character, and that's Shovel Knight. One of the more perfect games in recent years that is that retro style, obviously different from games like Super Mario Odyssey or Zelda Breath of the Wild, which are known as kind of perfect games. But a lot of people were giving Shovel Knight a perfect score, and I understand why. I love that game. I played the heck out of that game, and all the skill sets that Shovel Knight uses, I think they can make some really cool transfers over to a Switch version of Smash with him in the game. And yeah, maybe even some of his power moves turn into like Plague Knight and some of those other characters. Number 6, Mort from Super Mario Bros. 2. One of the most underrated, I guess, enemies in Mario World. Why in Mario, not in the Mario universe? I didn't mean in Super Mario World. He's not in Super Mario World. But Wart is awesome. Wart was the final boss in Super Mario Bros. 2 on the NES, and what a cool boss he was. It kind of threw me off when I was older. I was like, was this the same guy as Bowser or King Koopa and Wart? Are they like the same people? I was confused. I just want to see Wart HD in a Super Smash Bros. Game on the Switch, kind of more than anything. Number 5, I know Mikey agrees with me, right, Mikey? Cuphead and Mugman. Cuphead needs. I feel like Cuphead is one of those characters that is like a must in a new Smash Bros. Game. It's one of the most brutally difficult games ever released, and I think that the game already has laid it out for us. You get to go to shops and buy a ton of different special weapons, a ton of different types of shots, different types of dashes, different types of skills, and I think all of that is easily transferred into Smash Bros. On the Switch. Would it be legal because it's not a Nintendo game? I don't know. I told you the rule earlier. If it's a video game, then I say it applies. So I say Cuphead, get in there, please. I'm also debating getting a Cuphead tattoo.
Do it!
Do it!
Yes! I beat him! I beat Cuphead!
Number 4 is Bonk from Bonk's Adventure. Mikey, do you even know who Bonk is? You ever heard of Bonk? This little kid with the big head. You'll have to Google it sometime. Yeah, Bonk is a really cool character. I first started playing the game on the TurboGrafx 16, but basically he's a little kid caveman that eats everything with his face. I think he'd be a really fun character. I also think he could be a good floaty character, like a Kirby type. You ever seen that guy before?
Yes.
Okay, he's a cool character. I think he'd be awesome. I think that he should be able to pull out some meat like he does in the game, eat it and just go ham. I don't know, I feel like he'd be kind of another overpowered type player because when Bonk goes into his crazy spells, he gets nuts and he gets crazy, and I think this would really transfer well to a Smash Bros. Game. All right, number 3, I cheated on this one. This is kind of cheating. It's not even really a character. It's an add-on or DLC type thing for Mario, but Cappy from Super Mario Odyssey is so cool. He's like Kirby, can turn into anything. But the cool thing about Cappy, in my opinion, why he'd be great, is because Kirby, when you set people up, it feels a little slow. It feels a little bit like it takes a quick second of lag time before you get that ability. Cappy, on the other hand, just whoppa! The minute the hat lands, that's it. You're that character. You don't just have their ability, you are them. Talk about confusing your opponents and the players you're working against. I think Cappy needs to be either his own character, a DLC, or some sort of download, some sort of add-on, not just a skin. Give Cappy his own skill sets completely. Cappy, get in the world. Number 2 is basically my high school life. Zitz, Pimple, and Rash, the Battletoads. Battletoads and Battle Maniacs on the Super Nintendo are some of my favorite games. I love how when they punch a few times, their hands get really big, their feet get really big. Kind of reminds me of Bayonetta on the Wii U, how she has certain moves where a big foot comes down or a big hand comes out. But they're their own unique characters. There's 3 of them. Maybe you can switch between them as different skins, as different colors, but I've always loved them as characters in the video game universe. The games are hard. I just think they're really unique. They kind of have a Ninja Turtles vibe. The Battletoads would be perfect, in my opinion, but not the best because we still have a number 1. The Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers from the Nintendo game, one of my favorite Nintendo games of all time. Now this, I must say, I picked this as number 1, but I have to admit something. I don't really have any special moves that I want to have them to have. Yes, some sort of cover abilities because they are known in the game to hide behind a lot of different things, but tag teaming on that game is so much fun on the NES game. I've always loved that game, and I think they could kind of play like the Ice Climbers working with each other, because in Chip and Dale's, the game on the NES, you can pick each other up, throw each other, use each other to kind of platform through the levels. So maybe an Ice Climbers-esque type characters. But with that said, that's it. That's my most wanted characters in Smash Bros. On a potential Switch game. Eli, if you could pick one character, don't give me a long explanation. Just give me what character would you want to see in a Smash Bros. Game? Ezio Auditore from Assassin's Creed. Mikey, how about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of mad you didn't include it in the top 10, but Minecraft Steve, bro, come on.
That's kind of most brilliant character because Minecraft is just a giant creative game. It's just everything. Really, what can't Minecraft create? So I think it'd be honestly pretty perfect. I think Mikey might have got one of the best, answers here. But really, I want to know your answers because there is no right answer. Say whatever you want in the comments. I don't care who you want in Smash. I don't care if it's Vladimir Putin. Put him in the list. You can be putting him in the list for all I care. All we want to do is make sure that your opinion is heard in the comments and we'll respond to them. So that's it from Superhero Game Squad. Who is that?
Maybe a Digimon? Maybe
That's kind of a cool call.
How about that?
Okay, I like it, Mark.
Yeah.
Mark, get back out of here!